This is the standard morning routine. You sit down with a cup of coffee, open your phone, and immediately hit a wall of new PDFs, breaking headlines, and bullet point lists you are somehow supposed to absorb before breakfast. Trying to cram all these random dates, percentages, and names into your brain through sheer repetition is exhausting. It feels like you are trying to drink from a fire hose of trivia. Treating current affairs like a giant memory test is a trap. When you rely on brute force alone, the facts blur together and slip away long before you ever reach the exam hall. There is a more effective way to process this information. Let's call it the examiner's lens. The people writing your exams aren't testing your memory of the headline itself. They are checking if you can spot the core syllabus concept driving the story. Every major news story is really just your textbook coming to life. It is a practical, live-action demonstration of the static subjects you are already studying, like the complex rules of polity, the shifting graphs of economy, or the delicate balance of ecology. To see exactly how this works, we are going to take 3 very different headlines from today's news and decode the actual exam mechanics ticking away inside them. When you learn to spot the why behind the news, remembering the what stops being a chore. It happens naturally. Let's start with the economy. The Reserve Bank of India recently announced it is capping banks' daily net open position at $100 million. Picture a weighing scale balancing a store's US dollar inventory against local Indian rupees. If exchange rates crash, the inventory loses value, risking bankruptcy. Banks face this exact risk. The gap between their foreign currency assets and liabilities is their net open position, or NOP. The RBI set that $100 million cap as a hard regulatory boundary. It exists to stop banks from taking high-stakes gambles on the unpredictable swings of the global currency market. This headline is a story about a macroeconomic shield being deployed to keep the entire market stable. That is the fact that stays with you. Next, let's look at polity. Nitish Kumar recently resigned from his position in the Bihar Legislative Council to join the Rajya Sabha. An examiner will use this event to test how the state's government is structurally organized, rather than the political drama of the resignation itself. This points to the bicameral system, a government with 2 houses. Bihar is a rare Indian state operating an upper house alongside its standard lower house. Look at this flowchart. The Legislative Assembly forms the lower tier, while the Constitution outlines the upper tier, the Legislative Council, under Article 171. The math is testable. 75 total seats, 63 members are elected, and 12 are nominated by the governor. A breaking political resignation is a live demonstration of state-level constitutional architecture at work. Finally, turn to ecology. For the first time in nearly a decade, a great Indian buster chick has successfully hatched in the wild in Gujarat. The stakes here are incredibly high. The International Union for Conservation of Nature lists this bird as critically endangered because there are fewer than 150 of them left in all of India. Because the population is so low, scientists used a specific conservation method that examiners often target, known as the jumpstart approach. Scientists carefully transported a fertile, partially incubated egg from Rajasthan, driving it 770 kilometers across the country to a wild nest in Gujarat. They placed the egg in the nest to be naturally incubated by a wild female bustard. It took a massive coordinated partnership between 2 different state forest departments to pull this off. This hatching serves as a real-world template for extreme ecological intervention, showing exactly how interstate partnerships can save a species on the brink. We just took 3 dense, intimidating headlines and stripped away the noise to find the core textbook concepts running the show. Let's test exactly how well that worked with a quick 3-question pop quiz based on real exam patterns. Question 1. What does net open position measure? Question 2. Under what article is the Legislative Council formed? Question 3. What is the conservation status of the Great Indian Bustard? You likely knew the answers instinctively. The gap between assets and liabilities, Article 171, and critically endangered. You didn't just memorize those phrases, you learned the engine underneath them. Stop passively reading the news and start actively decoding the reasons why things happen. When you train yourself to truly understand how the world works, passing the competitive exam is a natural side effect.